Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Where I Went Wrong. And in this edition of Where I Went Wrong, I'll be doing Where I Went Wrong, UFC Fight Night, Nzechukwu versus Cutelaba, or Cutelaba versus Nzechukwu. Either way, it was actually Lewis versus Spivak, but Lewis had a stomach issue and literally on the fight night had to get pulled off, so the fight got changed, or the card got changed, or the headliner got changed literally on the day of the fight. But matter of fact, while the card was in process, they had to change. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, for this card, I went 10-1? Yeah, 10-1, 10 of 11. It was originally, I think, a 13 fight card. That next one fell off. But yeah, as far as what I predicted, it was a 12 fight card, but then Lewis fell off. So it turned to 11 fights. And then of those 11 fights, I went 10-1. So yeah, pretty solid card. Not a whole lot to really dig out of. But also, I'm not gonna be the person that's just like, everything was perfect about the card, even though it wasn't. Like, obviously, I had an L on the card, and obviously, like 3 of the fights were relatively close, or very close. So I put decisions in there, so it wasn't just a clean, perfect prediction. I mean, yeah, it wasn't all that. But yeah, I'm just gonna go to the first or the only L, and then I'm gonna just talk about the 3 split decisions as much as I can talk about out of them. Yeah, it was the first L. Well, I'm saying the first L. It was only one L. But Vanessa Demopoulos versus Maria Oliveira. And with this one, it wasn't so much I was confident in Oliveira. I obviously wasn't. You can also go back. I was not super confident about her in this one. I just like the fact she was taller. She always did look much taller. I thought she put more value. And yeah, I thought she could do those things. And I also didn't like Demopoulos' tendency to not really use all her skills a lot of times. Like, a lot of times, if like the opponent got to bring it out of her or you got to take her there for her to use her full skill set a lot of times. Like, she'll strike with strikers a lot of times, or yeah, and I just thought Maria Oliveira, she's not all that good. She's younger and she can make improvements. She was longer and she could pretty much be an out-work artist. It was gonna be an ugly fight where basically Demopoulos wasn't gonna use her full skill set in the best way or at all. And then Oliveira was just gonna simply be an out-work her in a pretty ugly fight that probably was gonna be a split decision. But Vanessa Demopoulos came in, heavy hands, used a full skill set. Oliveira definitely did outland her, but Demopoulos dominated her in like the over course of the whole fight, like in every area. Like I said, volume definitely was on Oliveira's side, but damage, effectiveness, control, who's pushing the pace, who's setting the template, it was Demopoulos. So yeah, it is one case. Like, a lot of times, like, it was one of the things, like, but Demopoulos, like, when she's on point, like she did was on last night or that night, she should have won. Like, you just said, if Demopoulos on point, like I said, you had to predict, expect both of them to be on point. Demopoulos is the better fighter. And also, it's not like Oliveira has like really fighting and punching power or really even fight like high level talent. I don't even know why she's necessarily here. She kind of get by. No insult to her, but I feel like she was not really ready for this level of competition in the UFC or even in the UFC. I feel like she needs more development to be in the UFC. Like, she's able to skate by and get a win in the UFC, but other than that, like, when I even looked at her prior to coming to UFC, the skills and talent just weren't where they were. Maybe just the skill and the experience in the fine tuning wasn't where it needed to be for her to really be in UFC. I don't think she's really UFC caliber as of right now. I think she needs to fine tune her skills if she really wants to be in the UFC, or else she's going to be back and forth, win, lose, or just lose, and be out the UFC. And it's like, what's the point of that? You come in there when you can do your best, especially you're a young fighter. It's not like she's fighting like, well, this is all I got. I'm 30 years old, 32 years, 33 years old, 35. Like, this is the only chance I got, so I'm going to do what I can. But she's like, 25, 26, very young, develop. Don't rush to the UFC. That's all I'm saying. But going from Demopoulos, ain't gonna say like, she's gonna do such big things in the division. She can stick some wins together. She can beat some more prospects and maybe lower rung fighters, but don't really have the highest ceiling for Demopoulos. That's all I'm saying. No insult. And then let's look at the close fight. So we had Tercios versus Kevin Natividad. I thought this one would be a more dominant fight for Tercios, but ended up being a very close fight. So yeah, I got this one right. It's W, but it was a split decision. Tercios got dropped, I think, in the third round, and he got rocked in the first round, but definitely put the pace on him. He got out wrestled, but he controlled the grappling situation largely in this one, and he did what he had to do at the times he had to do them. But ultimately, I feel this is a very disappointing performance from Tercios. I definitely think Natividad is not UFC caliber, or at least not stick around UFC caliber. He's caliber enough to maybe hold his own in the UFC with some fighters, but as far as winning, actually being able to hold your own in the sense like I could win in the UFC and win consistently enough so I could stay in the UFC or at least thrive some sort. But Natividad is not that. So Tercios should have been able to put on a more dominant performance and at least a definitive performance, wasn't like a split decision. It should have been a unanimous decision, but now a very close fight, and he had to literally fight to the very end and pull this one out. So not impressed with Tercio, especially like he got taken out 7 times. Not like Natividad is a notable wrestler, so a big concern for Tercios going forward as far as wrestling. You kind of got to question his skill level. You got to question a lot of things about Tercio. So not a good look for Tercios. So that's the first split decision victory, or first close decision victory. Next fight, we had Miles Johns versus Vince Morales. You can say what you want to say about this. Oh, it was close. Morales should won, or this and that. It was close, but the right man won it. Very unimpressive fight, but Johns did get the one takedown. And yeah, close fight. And if Morales wanted to do something, he should have done more. So Johns did just a little bit more, and that's why he won. Simple as that. But nothing right home about the fight. I think already going to this fight, this was a low confidence. Even though a lot of people were high on Miles Johns, that was like their pick of the night, their lock pick for whatever reason. Like even though he hadn't really shown no reason for this to be his lock pick, I guess it was a combination of Johns being okay and Morales just has not really shown to be of that caliber. So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, the two combinations of that makes Miles Johns the pick, or the pick on this card that's supposed to be so sketchy. But for me, it was a low confidence. So it's not even like I was going this one like, oh, Miles Johns is this dude. I already seen him kind of fall apart like at least twice. So, and I think Morales. I didn't pick Morales. I'm saying I feel Morales could potentially put it up. But I just thought like Morales ain't that guy. In the same sense, y'all thought like, oh, Morales not that guy. That's why I was confident in Johns. It was just enough confidence for me to pick Johns. It wasn't enough confidence for me to lean Morales. It was enough confidence for me to pick Johns. Just the fact that I know Morales ain't that dude. He doesn't really come with that much power. He doesn't really have that finishing track record as far as in the UFC. So it's like John's most likely going to outwork him, do a little bit more than him, and that's exactly what he did. Didn't expect nothing spectacular from him. And after seeing the fight, it's like, as far as right now, he is who we thought he was, or who I thought he was. Miles Johns is, and Morales is who I thought he was. So could definitely fade both guys going, like likely fade both, or definitely fade Morales most likely in his next fight. And Johns, there's a good chance I'll fade him in his next fight. So no insult, it just is what it is from what I've seen. But hey, all you can do is get better. And let's see what's this. Where's that? Charles Johnson versus Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I feel like this is probably the one that might have been potentially the biggest robbery. Well, I'm not gonna say robbery. Probably been the one that maybe should have went the other way. I went with Charles Johnson. He beat Zhalgas Zhumagulov. This probably should have went the other way. But I feel like Johnson had the cleaner boxing, had more composure. Like I said, if I was a judge, I'd probably lean Zhalgas Zhumagulov. But I get it. That's all I'm saying. I get it. I feel like this is the one out of the other two, out of 3 ones that were pretty close. I feel like this is the one. I get it. I would have said lean Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I don't want to say they were close, but I understand. Like I felt it was clear enough that the guys who won deserved to win. This one, like, yeah, I feel like Zhalgas. If I was a judge, I would lean Zhalgas Zhumagulov. But hey, I think he only got 1 official takedown, so that's impressive for Charles Johnson. At least improvement. He didn't get taken out like 20 times or nothing, or 10 times. So obviously not the same level of wrestler as Mokaev, but hey, just holding guy to 1 takedown, pretty all right. Zhalgas Zhumagulov came with a good start, but Johnson rallied pretty well and stayed pretty consistent with his work. Close fight, probably should have went Zhalgas Zhumagulov as far as not me predicting wise. I predicted what it was. Close fight, can't be mad about it. And I just came on the better side of that. Close fight, but I came on the better side of it. I felt Zhalgas won, but now I'm just talking in circles. But yeah, Zhalgas Zhumagulov win or lose this fight. He didn't have very much long in the UFC. I think he retired after this fight too. So, but win or lose this fight, he didn't have very much further to go in the UFC. He would have got sparked by a lot of these other guys. And Charles Johnson, well, Johnson's boxing a lot cleaner than Zhalgas Zhumagulov, and his defense a lot cleaner than Zhalgas Zhumagulov. So he might get laid on by a lot of people. He definitely will get laid on a lot of people. Probably get submitted by some people. But at least he's a fresher face. I think he could go a little bit further than Zhumagulov in the UFC, or just a little bit further. Is it right now from what I've seen? So, in a sense, maybe not on the judging scorecard, the right man didn't win. But as far as the man with the most potential to at least add something to the division, that guy, the right man, won in that sense. But again, very close fight. It's no robbery at all. That's what I feel. But yeah, pretty good card. And what else can I really say? Oh, I'm just gonna say, like, I gotta reference the main event a little bit, just a little bit, to cap it off. Nzechukwu versus Iwan Cutelaba played out just as expected. Cutelaba coming out steam, like, hot first round typically, and then Nzechukwu just basically just piling on him, put him out like second round. I don't know if that's actually what I predicted, but I know I definitely said he's gonna have a good first round. I think Nzechukwu gonna put him out. I don't know if I said second round, third round. Like, I'm not really even going back to the video to say what I said, but like, yeah, definitely said strong first round, and then Kennedy's gonna finish him. I don't know if I said second or third, but y'all definitely could quote me on it better than I could quote myself on it. But I think I said second or third. But good win right there. But still don't really say it's still not the most impressive performance for Nzechukwu, to be honest. So you might say, "Oh my God, that's the coming to life performance for him." Like, it ain't. Cutelaba ain't that dude. He always been a low fight IQ fighter. So I was like, that ain't the most impressive one. I feel like a impressive winner would have been like a first round stoppage, not even give Cutelaba to that even give him that first round. Should have stuffed his takedown, maybe even took him down and shut him out. But a win's a win, and like it's a good win. I'm gonna say it's a good win, but it ain't that win that's gonna say, "Oh my God, this guy, who is this guy? This guy can make some waves in the division. This guy can shake the rafters or something and like really climb up the rankings." This is like, hey, he's here. Like, now he's here now, but yeah, we see you, but we ain't worried about you. Good win, good frame. It's scary what you can do. You build upon that frame. Like his last fight, that was a scary good performance for him. Obviously, not the same level of competition, but that was a scary good performance. Saw grappling from him, saw power, saw finishing ability consistently. Not just when a guy's tired. Like, it's a big clean performance from him. Yes, again, not the same level of competition, but that's the performance. Like, oh, this guy's starting to come into his frame and come into his own. This performance, like, now he's starting to get the wins that he needs to like stack up, but it wasn't as clean of a performance, and still had to come behind from a first round like that. I'm not saying it was the most crazy first round, but he was losing that. I mean, he did clearly lose the first round for putting away pretty quickly in the second round. So, but like, nonetheless, good win. All I'm saying, like, no insult, just like keep building, keep doing better, and come out there do even better next point, because definitely going forward where direction he's going in now, you got to be much better. Like, going for Cutelaba, it might seem like, oh, I'm here, I beat Cutelaba, but from Cutelaba to the next people, it's like a big jump, man. Like, Cutelaba ain't those people. Depending, yeah, it's no matter how you see it, it's a big jump from Cutelaba to the people above Cutelaba, because Cutelaba nowhere near those people's level. So like, you got to do a big jump up, and yeah, but good performance. I'm gonna say, I'm talking this video. I probably say it. It's almost say, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's his face? Tercio or something. I'm just adding filler to this video. It don't need to be no 20 minutes long. That's the video. Again, I went 10-1, 10 of 11, solid card, and gonna look to continue that momentum into the next card. Even if it's not a UFC card, I'm gonna continue to whatever card come next and try to wrap this year off strong, and then go into 2023 like on fire, explosive, nitro, TNT, exploding that year, take over this game, and actually get the recognition to a big level and the rewards of my work, my efforts, talents, such of my research. And I really kill it 23-3. And I want y'all to be there with me, be behind me, and be the people say, oh, I've been with him for like 2-3 years. I've been with him for a year. I've been with him for 2 months. But I follow him to 2023, and this guy really blew up. That's why I went 2023. I wanted to blow up in 2023, 2024, 2025, and into the continuum, and just blow up on this thing. And I've been here for some time. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, and time to start reaping the rewards, reaping the benefits. And that's the video. Peace.